Hello, everybody. Happy December. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany. If you are new, I'm an opera singer and I was in Beachbody for 7 years from 2014 to 2021. And now I debunk and react to MLM content and MLM adjacent scams. So if that is your kind of thing, I hope that you'll subscribe, give the video a like, hit the notification bell, all the YouTube-y things. I hope your holiday season is off to a fantastic start. And without further ado, we are going to be reacting to an Arbonne opportunity call today. I don't know if I have ever reacted to Arbonne Huns on my channel yet, but they are closely associated with Beachbody, so I feel like it'll be right up my alley. I mean, all the MLMs are devolving into like one giant mass supplement. Like they're just all selling supplements at this point. But Arbonne started out doing makeup and skincare, and now they do more supplements, wellness stuff. So without further ado, we're going to roll the disclaimer and I will be right back.
Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to.
Hey everybody. So you may or may not notice that I look a little different. I put the same hat on for continuity, but at some point, like very early on, which is super annoying, my microphone came unplugged, and that would have been fine. I would have been like, okay, maybe the sound is like a little less high quality, but as I was trying to edit, like it kept cutting out. So I was like, and I did not realize it until halfway through the filming of part 2 of this reaction to Arbonne Huns. So we're redoing it, because if it was driving me crazy, it's gonna drive y'all crazy. So look, there are benefits to this, because now that I've seen it once, my reactions can be a little bit more concise and articulate. So that's what we're looking at. And I also came up with this idea to do 12 days of Hunmas. So day 1 has already been posted, which was a short a reaction to a bogus before and after. So then day 2 of Hunmas is 2 Huns a-lying, which could be every day of Hunmas, could be 3 Huns a-lying, 4 Huns lying. They're all lying all the time, but that's what we're reacting to today. So two Arbonne, 2 turtle doves. What, 2 Arbonne Huns? I don't know. Let me know. And then if you have ideas for other things for the rest of the 12 days, I'm not posting them like 12 days in a row. It is December 4th. So we have until the 12 days of Christmas end on January 6th, actually. So if I can try to get 12 videos up between now and January 6th, or 11, because I already have one up between now and January 6th. Maybe we can get them up by Christmas. We shall see, because your girl's busy. I have holiday gigs both to be a part of and to attend my friends' holiday gigs as well. So anyway, let's get right into today. We are reacting to 2 Arbonne Huns, Kayla Sykes and Morgan Joy. And as I've already reacted to these, I am going to say, if you were in Beachbody, I know a lot of you guys were also in Beachbody, and that's why you found me. This feels exactly like an opportunity call I would have done in Beachbody, and some of the things they say are verbatim things that I said when I was in Beachbody. So let's just get into it. I would advise maybe not taking a shot every time they say something that you said in Beachbody, because you will be on the floor just halfway through. It is a 30-minute long opportunity call. I'm going to react to the first 15 minutes, and then part 2 will be the second 15 minutes. So we can kind of not have like a 2-hour long video here. But yeah, let's see what Kayla and Morgan have to say.
Happy Friday, guys. Happy first, what is it? No, actually the second Friday of August. I hope y'all are having a great start to your day. I am going to be joined here shortly with one of my dear friends, Morgan, and we're going to chat a little bit about um, business and some common questions we get when it comes to our Arbonne business, how she builds it while working full time, and just more of that kind of thing. So let me take a moment. There we go. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Just getting adjusted here. Doing good. Just trying to, like I said, cool off. Went for that walk. It feels amazing out, but at the same time, it's still hot. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But something that I was thinking when I was on my walk is okay, it's what day is it? August, I don't know,
Eight,
7th or something.
seven.
8th. Okay. Hey Kristen, miss you too, sis. And I was like, like I hate to rush things, but like the holidays are knocking at our door.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in terms of like decorating and stuff, and as much as I love that, but the holidays and Christmas shopping and things like that, like that's coming whether we like it or not. And so I think like now is a really great time to like kind of, chat about the business opportunity that is attached with Arbonne for people that are wanting to or maybe needing to earn some extra income without having to work overtime at their job or take on a second job. And it's just such a solid opportunity. So
My good woman, what do you think Arbonne is? It is a second job. And question, how much would you make taking on a second job or working overtime at your job versus how much would you make in Arbonne? Spoiler alert, they do not say any numbers this whole opportunity call. Now, that may be because I think the FTC has cracked down on what you can say about like specific earnings claims, but also Huns are really good at being vague and being like, oh, it's just this extra money, it's helping my family and all this stuff, in a way that like if you're actually like wanting a second job, if your whole point is to earn extra income for the holidays, shouldn't they be presenting like this is the typical amount that you can make? You would be better off like if you take overtime at your job. In most jobs you get time and a half. So if you get paid $20 an hour, you could pick up 10 extra hours, and that's $30 an hour, and then that's $300. Like there's your Christmas shopping for like everyone. I mean, I guess it depends on how much you spend on your kids or your family members. $300 would be more than enough to cover all of my nieces and nephew and parents and sister and everything. So we don't spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on each other in my family. But yeah, if you have a job that pays $20 an hour and then it pays time and a half, like that's a way better idea than doing Arbonne where you're unlikely to make any money at all. Also, at the holidays, a lot of retail companies hire extra people just for the holidays, from kind of like Black Friday through the end of Christmas. So you can pick up a job at any store at the mall, like Ulta, Sephora, Lush, like Macy's, department stores, like any of those jobs, and get like a decent paying like part-time holiday gig, which again is going to pay you more than Arbonne. So
just kind of wanted to like tie that in there. But so Morgan is one of the area managers on my team. And basically I meant to like look at the averages. I can't remember what the averages are as far as earnings go, but see earnings at Arbonne.com to see
Right.
the typical averages that come with being an area manager.
since she said that, let's go look at earnings. Let's look at the Arbonne income disclosure statement, since she is like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the typical earnings are, but you can go look it up yourself. Okay, let's look it up ourselves, because you know what? It does matter. And this is actually, so Arbonne did actually do a income disclosure statement in 2024. A lot of MLM companies, I've found I can't find any more recent than 2021 or 2022. They haven't been putting them out because MLM companies are struggling. MLM is dying, but Arbonne did put one out. So this is for the United States. This is all in US dollars, and this is for 2024. So she said that this girl is an area manager. And I do like that they put the median annual earnings, because the averages can really be thrown off by those like higher earners. Median is more what you're going to get. Although the median and the average in Arbonne tend to be pretty close to each other. So 3.1% of independent consultants are area managers. And the median annual earnings is $12,159. So that breaks down to $1,000 a month. But there's also a $99 fee to enroll, and there's an annual $99 renewal fee. You're going to have to buy a product kit to get started. Even if they say like, oh, you don't have to, you kind of have to. You kind of have to. It's the social pressure. It's like you have to be a product of the product. You have to love these products. You have to be like the best customer. So like everyone's going to buy a product pack, and you're going to be pressured to continue buying products and staying on these subscriptions. Pardon me. And as Arbonne themselves says, these earnings do not represent independent consultant expenses incurred in the operation of their business, like the registration fee, the renewal fee, event registration fees, travel, office supplies, insurance premiums, products purchased for business purposes, etc. Earnings are not guaranteed. 13% of the consultants represented above had no gross earnings at all in 2024. And the people that did, earnings are not profits. So that's the other thing, is taxes. So $12,000. When I just looked at my paycheck on my little online portal, my most recent paycheck, I was like, wow, almost a third of it. I try not to look at my gross earnings because I'm like, oh, it makes me sad. I try to just look at my net pay. But my gross earnings are usually, it's about a third of it is gone to equal my net pay. Almost a third of it. So let's just say a third. So $12,000, let's take away a third of that. You're at $8,000 because you have to pay taxes. I know they try to write off a lot of stuff. Let's be real about it. The renewal fees, the cost of products. With Beachbody, almost everybody got Shakeology every month. So that's with the coach price about $100. And I personally got Energize and Recover and Beach Bars and Collagen every month as well. And so those added up, I would say the average Beachbody coach or partner that was working their business, and even a lot of the discount coaches, were probably purchasing $200 to $300 worth of product a month. So that like $12,000 a year after taxes goes down to $8,000, after product goes down to, if it's, let's just say $200 a month times 12, $2,400, you're getting down to like $5,000 in the year. And you're paying, $150 to go to convention. You're paying, $400 for your flights because you earned the trip, but you have to pay for your flights, and you have to pay $50 for airport transfers, and you have to pay the gratuity, and you also have to buy gifts for your downline. Like, you're not making very much extra. And that's only 3% of people get to that level. So see how quickly this becomes the worst opportunity you've ever heard of? Not me compulsively checking that the light is on my microphone. Gosh, I wasted so much time recording and my microphone wasn't on. Just for kicks and giggles before we get back into this, most people are at the consultant rank, the basic rank, 82.9%. So 83% of people where their median annual earnings are $106. So that doesn't even cover their fee, basically. And if they buy any product, they're already in the red. District managers, that's 12% So we're already at, like, to be in the top 12% of this company, you make $2,187 a year. If you're in the top 12% of positions at Google or like any other corporation, I guarantee you're making more than $2,000 a year. You're probably making six figures. If you are in the top 3% at Google, do you think you're making $12,000 a year? Like, no. Like, Huns love to shit upon 9-to-5s, but if you're in the top 3% at a corporate 9-to-5, you're making good money, even with the things I rant about on my channel, like wage stagnation and cost of living and all of those things, because we live in late stage capitalism and I have to do an anti-capitalist rant at least once a video. But like, come on, if you are at a corporate 9-to-5 and you're in the top 3% of your company, you're making more than $12,000 a year. If you're at the top 1% of your company, this regional vice president, 1% of Arbonne consultants are at this level, $46,000 a year. If you're in the top 1% of any corporation in the United States, you are making more than $46,000 a year. Like, for realsies, that is crazy. And then the 0.5%, that median annual earnings is $137,000 a year. It's not even that good. Like, in the heyday of MLMs, if you were at the top rank, you were making millions. Like, I remember the top earner in Beachbody in 2020 was making like $3 million. Like, 137,000, that is not good. Again, if you're in the top 0.5% at corporate America, I bet you're making more than that. It's just wild. So now we've gone over, since she told us to, she said you can look it up yourself. We looked it up ourselves. It's terrible. Let's keep going, shall we?
It's the second of 4 levels in Arbonne. So if you are familiar with network marketing in general, you know there are things called ranks. And one of the reasons why I personally wanted to partner with Arbonne after being with a previous business was I liked that it wasn't rank focused, but that there were only 4 levels of management, aka ranks, whatever you want to call it. So it wasn't like you were constantly trying to chase the next shiny thing or promote after every promotion. It's just like, no, you can like build sustainably at one level and then take a look at, moving up to the second level and so on and so forth. So Morgan does build this business alongside of her full-time job. She's a pharmacist at a hospital here in Tennessee. So I just really wanted you guys to, I can share a little bit about my story, but I really wanted you guys to hear more about her story and, how she does this. She's a mom of 3, again, and works full-time and still is, finding time to build a successful Arbonne business. So how did you get into this industry, period, like into the network marketing
No, I think that's
okay. Before we get into her, this is a good place to stop. Why is it a flex that there are only 4 ranks, or there's 5? There's like regular consultant, but like above that, there's only 4. We're looking at the income disclosure statement. It's just as bad as every other MLM. Yeah, Beachbody had like 20 ranks or something because they had, regular, emerald, ruby, diamond, and then like 1 through 15 star diamond. So they had like 19 ranks. It doesn't matter. Even if you condensed them all to 4 levels, it shakes out the same. Like every MLM shakes out the same. Like those 4 ranks or the 15 ranks or however many you have, the percentage of people at the bottom is always going to be the biggest, and the percentage of people at the top is always going to be the smallest. And you're going to find that 95% or more people are not even turning a profit. And Arbonne's income disclosure statement shows us that. So I don't understand why she's bragging about there only being 4 ranks. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I had to grab a sweater. This actually was my grandmother's. So It is old and cozy, but it is winter here. And we literally got a foot of snow on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then Monday we got like 4 more inches. And then yesterday we got like a couple more inches. So it's winter. It's like full on winter in Chicago. And allegedly we were supposed to have a really bad winter due to like a section of warm, like extra warm water somewhere in the ocean called the Blob. And I am not making that up. It is literally called the Blob. And it's supposed to make us have a bad winter here in Chicago, along with La Nina. So you can look it up and you'll be like, oh my gosh, who is it? This is why we need more creative people in science, because who was like, yeah, we're just going to call this the Blob. But it is entertaining me, so I guess I like it.
Great place to start, because I got into this industry, network marketing, back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I had finished pharmacy school. I started my dream job, and I was working a lot. Like long stretches. I would work 6 out of 7 days. I'd work overtime, meaning like 10 to 12 hours, wherever I could pick up the extra shifts, I was picking them up. My husband and I really wanted to pay off those student loans that were staring us in the face from pharmacy school. And so I was doing everything I could to pay those off as quickly as we could. And I was burnt out. And I had the darkest of dark circles under my eyes from being under fluorescent lights all day long for, weeks on end. And I was burnt out. I burnt out because I was tied to earning extra income by clocking in and being at the hospital. And it was exhausting. It's a high stress job. It's not something that's simple, and it requires a lot of brain capacity. And so I would come home completely dead to the world. I couldn't even hold a conversation. It was just weighing on me in more ways than one. I was very anti-network marketing. I was like, no, please don't sign me up for that. That is such a scam. I do not want to be a part of that. I'm not good at sales. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a pharmacist. I just want to help people. Then that's how I got into pharmacy, was because I wanted to help people live a healthy lifestyle. And what I didn't realize is that I could do that as well as help people live a healthy lifestyle without medicine, and, really hone in on those holistic practices, what you eat, how you fuel your body, what you put in and on your body. I started network marketing with a different company and had success there until I became a mom, and I had my daughter in 2020. And I just wanted something different, something that was good for my body from the inside and out. Mm-hmm. I was looking for more non-toxic products. When we were starting our fertility journey, we struggled getting pregnant for a while. And so I started cutting out toxins and started buying products from everywhere and anywhere that I could find until I found Arbonne, where I could find everything all in one place. And it just made so much sense to me to just order it online, get it shipped to my door. I had everything I needed, from skincare, makeup, hair care, body care. And then I found their supplements, which is when I started really feeling my best from the inside out. And so when the business opportunity was presented, I was like, wow.
Okay, there's too much. I'm going to stop her there because there's too many things to address just in that first part. So, first of all, when a Hun says like they were anti-MLM or they were anti-network marketing, they don't mean they were truly anti-MLM. People who are truly anti-MLM, like myself and Julie Anderson and Aaron Bees, anyone, Hannah Alonso, anyone you watch on YouTube, as in addition to me, we actually understand how the business model works. We understand the culty aspects of it, the manipulations, emotional, gaslighting, religious, like all the various types of manipulations. We're truly anti-MLM. When MLM Huns say what she said, like, oh, I was anti that, what they really mean is I saw someone who was being kind of cringy and I thought I was like too cool to be like cringy like they are. They don't truly understand the business model. They don't truly understand the financials and like all the different manipulation stuff that goes into it. They aren't anti-MLM. They are just like too cool for that person, or they think that they're like above it. And that's why they so paint us that way. You know, they paint the anti-MLM community as like, we just think we're too cool for it. And we're too afraid to take a chance. And like, we just don't get it or whatever. Cause that's like what they were if they say that. Whereas like, that's not the case. Like, we are not how they are portraying us, and they are not like us when they say they're anti-MLM. So that's the first thing. The second thing is like, I think we should make an anti-MLM bingo card for when we react to these Huns, because there's so many things that she's hitting on in her story. Like, oh, I had this 9-to-5 and I was so burnt out. Like, so there's first of all the corporate job shaming. There's also, she mentioned like the student loans and all of these things. So there's the education shaming. There's a lot of education shaming in MLMs. It's like, if you went to college, like, why did you do that? You're such a loser. You could have joined an MLM and like actually had your dream job and made a lot more money than going to college. And like, I did my rant in my last video about why I think education is important. And I think higher education is super important and should be accessible to everyone and not just a means to make money. And also that you do need a degree for a lot of things. And so she's hitting on all those. And then the like, oh, I had my baby, I wanted to stay home with my baby. The making the dream job sound like, oh, I thought this was my dream, but it turned out to like burn me out. And like, it was so horrible. Oh, there's like a dove hair on my lips. This happens all the time. Like, they just like, yep, dove hair on my lips. They just float around my apartment and they stick to things. There is also I would bet, again, haven't said this in a while, I would bet my left titty that they are MAGA. They're MAGA girlies. The right wing, everything has toxins in it. I have to have clean products. It's a pipeline. Like, evangelical Christian to MLM to super conservative right wing and like wellness culture conspiracy theories. It's all like one pipeline. And she's like, I wanted to have like things that were healthy for me that weren't medicine, like the shaming of Western medicine, like the fear mongering, like, and now we have like the new mom shaming fertility journey. Oh my gosh, we are like hitting all of the different levels of manipulation in this. I do want to look up like, what's the average pharmacist? This is so crazy. So I just Googled the average pharmacist salary, and it says it's around $137,000, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Sources indicating averages between 118,000 and 137,000. Even the lowest 10th percentile is 86,000. Arbonne doesn't even reach that until the national vice president, which she is not at. She's at the area manager. And that's 137. That's the same as a pharmacist, but you can just like be a pharmacist and get paid that. You don't have to recruit anybody. So why are you trying to make Arbonne sound like it's better than being a pharmacist? That is insane.
It makes so much sense. I can actually earn additional income from my phone, which I'm already on, from social media, which I'm already scrolling every day, and by using products that I was using already. And it just made so much sense to me. Why not share? I'm already sharing things I love anyways, whether it's what I found at Target, an Amazon find, you know, a restaurant down the road, my coffee order, whatever it might be. I'm already sharing that with the people I love anyways. Why wouldn't I share the products that have truly changed my life and made an impact on my life? And then
I was going to let her cook longer than that. So many lies. I don't even know where to start. I think that was less than a minute and I had to stop her. I mean, again, take another shot. I used to say all this stuff when I was in Beachbody as well. Being on social media and sharing products that you love is not at all the same as being in a multi-level marketing company. They are not at all the same. This whole idea that the Huns are like, oh, I'm already on my phone. I'm already sharing what I love. No, you can choose to be on your phone for fun at any time. You can choose to just be like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. I wanted to tell you guys about it. And then just go about your day. And it does not matter if anyone buys that thing. There's no pressure to be on your phone a certain amount of time, to make a certain amount of posts, to make a certain amount of sales from that thing you're sharing. Unless you're like an influencer and you have like a brand deal and you have to like, you know, to keep an affiliate link, you have to sell a certain amount, which is like, I don't know how that works. I'm not an influencer. And I will always have my full-time job like for the rest of my life, no matter what happens. But it's not at all the same. There is so much pressure to do a certain amount of things on your social media when you're in an MLM to make a certain amount of sales, even if they say there's no quotas, blah, blah, blah. You're still like in Beachbody, we had Success Club. I'm sure in Arbonne they have something else. You're still trying to recruit people, which again is nothing like sharing about products you love. Recruiting is the primary way that you make money because you have to get to those upper levels. It's just not at all the same. And as someone who was in Beachbody for 7 years, who I have now reclaimed my social media as something that is for me to have fun, I will tell you, it is so much better. I would so rather share something that I just like for free. I'll tell you right now. So today I did my makeup with the Cool Trolls palette from Cosmic Beauty. And I think this look is so pretty. And I don't know if you can see like the multi-chrome. I know I don't have like a super high quality camera, but I love like a grayish toned, like purpley brown look. And I used the Witty Walnut lip liner from Singe Beauty. These are all indie beauty companies. So if you're wanting to shop small this holiday season, like I am, Singe Beauty, Witty Walnut on the lips. And I have that super expensive Hourglass palette on my face. But like I will recommend things just because I love them. I don't have affiliate links for any of those. Like I just like shopping small. I love indie beauty. I'll share on my TikTok or my Instagram story like how much I love these things. And like I don't think about it. I'm like, I wonder if anybody bought that. And sometimes someone will, and then they'll be like, oh, I bought that thing that you liked and I love it. And like look at the look I created with it. And then we'll like text each other looks that we created because we have the same eyeshadow palette. And then it's just fun and it's like real friendship, not transactional friendship. So it's false equivalency. It's false equivalency. That is a false equivalence fallacy. Acting like being a civilian on social media, sharing what you enjoy is the same as being an MLM hun. It is not. I've been both and I can tell you night and day. My social media is fun now, which is great.
Saw the ripple effect of, I'm honestly helping people in a bigger capacity on a bigger stage than I could in a hospital setting. And I'm helping people from the root cause to truly live a healthier lifestyle. So I think when I started my journey, finding what my purpose in life, if you will, I didn't know that it would lead me here, but I'm so dang grateful that it did, because I just never imagined that the opportunities that I can now have more options with my time, with my finances, with my, like, the community, you know, with the friends that we've made along the way. And, you know, just there's so many other personal development. The person I've become since becoming an Arbonne consultant is just someone I'm so grateful that I know now, that I would have never gotten to. I would have never gotten to this point just as a pharmacist. And so I think it's something that people should really look at with fresh eyes and just see the true opportunity that is there, because it's more than just an income. It's more than just products. It's truly a lifestyle and a family. And there's just so many more perks of it than you can even imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Whew. Y'all, she is giving. She is firing on all cylinders. The audacity to think that someone who works in a multi-level marketing company makes more of a positive impact on the world than someone who works in a hospital. Girl, the janitor at the hospital makes more of a positive impact than you do. Anyone who works at a hospital makes way more of a positive impact on the world than you do. You are a predator. You are victimizing people. Actually, I feel like, okay, so Kayla, who is the blonde one, is clearly the upline of Morgan, who is the brunette. Morgan is the one at that middle rank at the area manager. To reiterate, so that's the one where the median income is $12,000. So I would say Morgan is actually not as much of a predator, like more of a victim, because I bet she is exploiting people. Like, obviously she's gotten to that rank and she is earning money off of other people's losses and off of, you know, their labor. However, she may not even be turning a profit. Like, after taxes, and then it's $8,000. Sounds like it would be a good amount, you know, a good amount extra per month. But after all the expenses and stuff, I doubt she even has more than like a couple $100 a month in profit, and is probably, you know, not really making very much. Maybe, I don't know. We don't have the nitty gritty on that, but everyone in an MLM is both a predator and a victim. And I would say she's more on the victim side. And yes, she's victimizing the people below her, but she's also being victimized. As someone who got to that, you know, the equivalent of the rank above her, you know, you looked at the income disclosure, and the regional manager, that's the top 1%. The median salary is $46,000. That was me. I've told you guys, I got to the top 1% in Beachbody, and my top year in Beachbody, I made $45,000 that year. So it really aligns so closely with Beachbody. So even though, you know, for the most part, I've reacted to former body Huns, reacting to these Arbonne Huns feels the same to me. And yes, I recruited people. Like, I manipulated people, I victimized people, and I have done my apology tour, and I'm doing my best to make amends. And of course, my entire downline has been so forgiving, and luckily none of them were like permanently harmed or have any really horror stories. It was just kind of a phase in their life. They were super into it. They were doing these programs and products. Maybe some of them tried to work the business for a while, and then we all kind of moved on with our lives. Like, I still maintain that I kind of hurt myself the most by getting to the rank that I got to. And so that's why I kind of don't blame the brunette girl as much. But yeah, I was that top 1%, that 45,000, and it felt like you're struggling all the time. You know, it doesn't, you're not living the high life. Even if you are making money off of other people's labor, you're still putting in so much time and effort and the one girl mentioned it being sustainable because it has fewer ranks. I'm like, that doesn't make it more sustainable. Like, you're always trying to replace the people that are leaving. It is ultimately unsustainable. Had to go put lotion on my hands. They looked like prunes. I love winter, but the dry skin, man, that's rough. I do love that, like, my hair will just hold curl for days because there's like no moisture in the air. So it's a trade-off. Anyway, let's get back to Kayla and Morgan. Let's see what they have to say. I think we're going to get into some like medical claims, health claims. So that's on our bingo card. Let me know in the comments what should be on our MLM bingo card. And then maybe I can figure out how to make some and like make, different ones, because obviously you have to put them in like the different areas so that every time we can have a different bingo card and we can see how long it takes until we get a bingo. That would be fun. Am I dorky? Yes. But are a lot of you? Why are you subscribed to me? You may also be dorky. We can all be dorky together. It's all right. We love it.
That was all amazing, by the way. And I feel like you touched on so many different like important points. And really like it is, like you said, like you going into this, like you were simply just looking for some cleaner slops, right? Some non-toxic options and things like that. And it's so much more, like it turned out to be so much more than like fizz and protein and greens and skincare, all the things. And I think that's what a lot of people, it's like if you just kind of take a moment, not just you, but anyone watching this, and just really choose to see like opportunity, with whatever decisions you're making in life in general, but really like just see the opportunity here. If you are currently using Arbonne products, or perhaps maybe you've been on the fence about, finally trying fizz or finally trying greens or whatever that looks like. It really is like so much more than that, and can be so much more than that. And maybe like you go into it like Morgan was and was like anti-network marketing, but I'm happy to like buy some products and stuff and do this and that. But when you really realize like it's a new age network marketing, it's not like your the mama's Tupperware business in 1982 or anything like that. Like it's just so much more about building a personal brand. It's more about building relationships with people.
Yeah.
It's not about cold messaging or, any of those yucky tactics that come from like way back when. And it really has evolved, and that's one of the reasons, guys, like I love chatting with people like Morgan that are on my team, because honestly, most of my team works full time. And whether they're teachers, pharmacists, we've got some nurses on the team. Like, I just feel like that speaks volumes when you hear of other people. Maybe you're sitting, you're watching this, maybe, it's a Friday, or maybe it's a Monday, who knows when you're watching this, and you're in your desk or your cubicle or what I don't know what you guys call it at your job, your little like nurse's station or whatever.
Yep. Nurse's
Yeah. And you're like, and I like to say under that god awful fluorescent lighting, I cannot stand that. I used to work in corporate, and I would always like turn the lights off in my office because I had a bunch of windows, thankfully. And I'm like, I just want to be in the dark. I can't stand this lighting. But maybe you're sitting there and you're just like, okay, I've really been, thinking about how, one, I need to earn some extra income. I don't think no matter what you're doing for a living, we all could use extra income in this day and time, especially.
Okay. That was a lot of nonsense. Did she say anything of substance? It's not your grandmother's MLM. What is this new talking point that the MLM Huns are like? It's not like Tupperware. It's not like the old MLMs. Like, it's exactly like them. You just don't do in-person parties anymore. Some of them do. I think Mary Kay still does. I think some of the beauty ones do. Maybe it's just Mary Kay that still does it. But I think there are is paparazzi still a thing? They do TikTok, right? I don't know. But there are still ones that do in-person parties. But yeah, that used to be like the thing. Like MLMs used to be like a home party thing. And that was kind of what they were known for, like Pampered Chef, Tupperware, Mary Kay, the kind of like dinosaur OG ones, so they could like demonstrate the product and stuff. And like, yeah, in the age of social media, and especially after the panini, like they don't do that as much anymore. But like the structure is still the same. It doesn't matter how you present the product. Like you're trying to recruit people to a business opportunity and you're still not talking about like the business structure and how you earn money. And she mentioned cold messaging, and it's like, yeah, you do. You do have to do that. You do. After a certain point, you burn through your warm market and you have to make new friends. So you might not cold message. Also, this is what they also mean in MLMs. When they say cold message, they mean like you are messaging your invitation, like a cold invite right away. But like, I just put my foot on my water bottle. What is wrong with me? You still, my brain just died. You still cold message people like, oh, hey, I liked this picture. Like, how did you like Bali? Oh my gosh, my kids are the same age. What, you try to start a conversation with people. You just don't bring up the MLM right away. But you still have to meet new people because the business is people. The business is getting as many people under you as possible and replacing the people that left. That's what it is. So you have to get new people. You have to message people.
And maybe it's not that you need it out of desperation. Maybe it's that you want to start, building a solid savings account, or maybe you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, or your kids are gonna are growing up and they're starting to get into sports and extracurriculars and things like that, and maybe your sons are wanting to play travel baseball or whatever that looks like Arbonne could be the vehicle for you to be able to be that yes mom,
Yeah.
to be able to say yes. And it's not anything extra you're adding to your plate. I like to say it's, if anything, it's an added value to my life, by saying yes to Arbonne, because of, like, Morgan said, the friendships have been incredible. It kind of makes you not even want to hang out with people that, you that are in your area and stuff, because it's just like the conversations within the Arbonne community, the friendships you make, like, it's just so different. It's
Yep.
a lot around personal growth and hyping each other up and
Yep.
encouraging people, each other, to go after big dreams and not
Yep.
settling for less, and being okay with.
So it's love bombing, it's information control because you're in this bubble. So you're reinforcing the delusion for each other. You have this delusion that this is a good business opportunity, and that if you're doing this personal development and you have this abundance mindset and blah, 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 that is what leads to success. So these conversations are all about like becoming better people, and it's very emotionally manipulative, and everybody's reinforcing this delusion in each other. And you leave those conversations on this emotional high, like, oh my gosh, I just had a breakthrough, and this is going to lead to hundreds of people joining my team because now I have this high vibe, and your vibe attracts your tribe, and blah, blah, blah. And like these amazing people. And none of that happens. It's all just self-delusion. And then what happens is, if you leave, all those friendships that were so much better than the other friendships that you had, you're no longer friends with those people. They cut you off. Even before I started doing anti-MLM content, I got cut off. I got removed from team pages just because I stopped actively working the business. As soon as I fell in rank, it was like, bye, we don't care about you anymore. We don't talk to you anymore because you're no longer at this higher level. Therefore, you're not worthy of friendship. You're just going to drag me down because you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Like, it is wild how quickly they will drop you like a hot potato. Even if you are still, like, I was still a fan of Beachbody. It takes time to leave a cult, to leave an MLM. It takes time, and there are many layers. And so the first layer for me was just getting a 9-to-5 and deciding I was going to be like a part-time, like, hobby coach. And then I was a discount coach. And then I started to like really see the light and, remove myself from, like, cancel all my stuff and find other fitness and other supplements and stuff. But that was many months to a year. I think it was like I left Beachbody in 2021, but I canceled my Beachbody on demand actually, I think I didn't cancel it until 2023. So I think it took me 2 years before I like stopped using the products altogether. over the course of 2022, I stopped using Shakeology and pre-workout and found other things. But I was cut off long before that. And now obviously I've been blocked and stuff. But I will say, other people who have left Beachbody as well are my friends. And in a way, we're a lot closer because we've been through this together and we get each other in a way that like no one else will understand, especially people who are on the same team with me. A lot of them watch this, like, you know who you are. I'm so glad that we have been able to have conversations and help each other, deconstruct and pull apart the lies and the gaslighting and rebuild our identity around who we are as people and not the MLM company, and help reinforce reality in each other. Like, wait, they said this, but it was actually like this. Yes, you're right. They manipulated you. Like, it helps to have someone else say like, yes, that was manipulation. And I hope that me reacting to these people, a subscriber sent this to me. They were her former upline. So I hope that it helps validate you, that subscriber, anyone else who was in their downline, or anyone else who is in Arbonne or even in another MLM company. I think that was really healing for me when I was leaving MLM, was watching these anti-MLM creators react to people and validate that I had been manipulated and that they were wrong, and use facts and logic and reason. And it really helped me realize it wasn't my fault that I didn't succeed, that I wasn't that top Beachbody coach. So I hope that this is the same for you guys who may be in that situation.
Someone else winning for once, because your time is coming. Like, it's the conversations are just different. The
It's
friendships
not
are
your
just
break
different.
room conversations. That's
No, gosh, no. Good point. I remember sitting in a break room and just hearing like ladies probably 20 years older than me complaining every single day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't stand the negativity. I'm not saying I poop rainbows and butterflies every day, but the negativity in a break room setting, or what
It's
do
just
they
gonna
call it?
bring you down.
Yeah, it's just going to bring you down. And so, maybe that's you right now. And you're like, I need something that, yes, we're not saying like quit your job or anything. Again,
Right.
Morgan still works. Like, it's just like this could be an outlet for you. I know when I was back in 2017, when I was looking into getting into network marketing, the boys were 3 months old. So I have twin boys. I was working full time. I loved my job. But I craved an outlet for me outside of my job, outside of motherhood, a way for me to be creative. And
Okay, I'm going to stop her because it seems like they've moved on from the break room thing, and I want to talk about that. Just because the toxic positivity in MLMs, that's what I want to say. The toxic positivity is so destructive. The whole like, oh, that's negativity, the complaining, that's going to bring you down. What they're not telling you is that you will not be allowed to criticize a single thing about the company, so about Arbonne in this case, even if they screw up your customer's order and your customer ends up returning it and you get a charge back on your commission. Even if you fall out of rank when you were like so close to qualifying, even if like people are, people tell you, try to recruit someone and they tell you it's a scam, like you're not allowed to vent. You're not allowed to blow off steam. You're not allowed to even have legitimate criticisms. If a product doesn't work for you, you still have to pretend like it's the greatest thing ever. Like, it's toxic positivity. And if you say anything at all about anything legitimate, any legitimate critique, you will be gaslit. You will be told you're bringing down the vibe, like you're being a negative source. And also, if you're not like succeeding, which 99% of people aren't, you will be told it's because of your negative attitude. If you it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're like, I have been stuck at area manager and I can't get past it and I'm really frustrated. Well, you're manifesting that because you're frustrated about being stuck. You're manifesting being stuck. It's like the mind effery, like I tell you, is insane. I have to say, like, one of the best things about getting out of that, and not just MLM, but the whole like personal development sphere, the whole manifestation sphere, it's why I talk about this, is being able to have negative emotions and express them, which is just a part of being a human. It doesn't mean you're manifesting more of that. It doesn't mean you're calling more of that into your life. It is literally just like shit happens. I mean, the bumper sticker from the 90s, like shit happens. And it is okay to talk to someone about it. It is okay to acknowledge that things suck. Like right now, everything is expensive. Everything has gotten more expensive. Gas is expensive. Healthcare is expensive. Groceries are expensive. Everything has gotten more expensive. Like, it's just objectively true. And our wages have not kept up, especially in the last year, this year of 2025. It's just true. And that doesn't mean I have a lack mindset and I'm not keeping my salary at the same place. It's just like the economic times we live in are batshit. Like, you know? And like maybe your kid is difficult. Maybe you have an annoying coworker and you like to vent to your other coworker about your annoying coworker. Like you're allowed to just be a person. It's not that deep. But in MLM and the personal development manifestation sphere, everything is like over spiritualized and every emotion is like dissected and there's a magnifying glass on it and like everything means like a million things instead of just like sometimes things suck and you just want to vent about it. And then also sometimes there are legitimate critiques of your job, your company, a person in leadership, the economic system. Like these are legitimate critiques. And the only way to fix something is to acknowledge the problem and like make it better, you know? And sometimes you just need to vent and that is okay. Like do it. You can vent in the comments if you would like. It is so cold in here. I had my heat set to 68, and so I just turned it up 1 degree. So now it's 69. Nice.
And you know, meet new people and establish new friendships and and also bring in some extra money. Like it's all a win-win. It really is. And so, maybe you are sitting there and you're thinking, okay, like, yeah, Christmas is coming up. I would love to go ahead and get a head start on Christmas shopping, but how can I if I'm, living paycheck to paycheck, or if we're, we earn the same income every single month or whatever. And so we just want to give you guys, encouragement to really take a look and, like she said, put fresh eyes on Arbonne, because there is such a market for cleaner daily consumable products. We're talking makeup, skincare, wellness supplements. Just because they're a wellness supplement doesn't mean that they're necessarily good for you, because a lot of the supplements on the market, they have artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors, colors, just extra little fillers. Like,
and
what'd you say?
Seed oils and fillers and
Mhm.
water, and like 90% of our skincare and our makeup is actually water, and and it's diluted, and so these are high quality products that will actually make you feel good and look forward to hair washing day and look forward to getting ready, because you're gonna start feeling so good from the inside out. You can't help but share it with everybody, because you want everyone to feel this good. They're going to be asking you what changed, because they're going to notice how good you are feeling. You're going to show up differently. It's such a natural way of sharing things. And I think Arbonne itself is just such an elevated network marketing experience in general. They've been
okay. Since I have watched this before, that is a good place to stop. Okay. You saw the faces I was making. Okay. So first of all, like the whole idea of this being like a one-stop shop for your makeup, skincare, hair care, wellness supplements like greens and protein powder and cleanses and pre-workout and stuff. I am sorry. I cannot think of a single brand that's not an MLM that has beauty and like workout supplements. Like there is no L'Oreal pre-workout. There is no Fenty Beauty protein powder. Like it's not a thing. There is no, Ulta is not selling greens. And Ulta does have like some supplements. They're like, it's like hair growth or like skin, whatever. But that's because that is at least related to beauty. But like MLMs have to make like all these products because the customers are the reps. The reps are the customers, you know, like that is why. Secondly, as soon as she said like seed oils and dyes and stuff, I was like, oh, yep, I was right. MAGA girlies. Or the MAHA girlies, Make America Healthy Again. Oh, if you're not in the US, and if you don't know, MAGA is an acronym for Make America Great Again, which is the catchphrase for the cult of our current president. So it is a cult. It is absolutely a cult. Like, facts. So, yeah, MAGA girlies, the conspiracy theories and like the weirdness, the right-wing like conspiracy theories around seed oils and dyes and stuff, yet they're not going to vaccinate their kids and so their kids can go ahead and get measles. Like, you are so unserious. Like, I cannot take you seriously at all. Like, go away. If you're not going to vaccinate your kids for measles, like, don't talk to me about seed oils. I don't give a shit. So yeah, it's just wild. And then lastly, the like, it's just so natural for you to share it because you're going to feel so amazing and people are going to be asking you. And it's like, maybe for like the first couple months, if you have a significant like weight loss transformation and you post before and afters, then people will ask you about it in your warm market and you'll get people coming to you. But after that, it's just going to be diminishing returns like every time you post a before and after. How do I know? Ask me how I know. Like, I was her. I was them. And I can tell you diminishing returns for sure. Okay, so that was part 1 of day 2 of Hunmas to Arbonne Huns. And let me know if you have other ideas for Hunmas. I was thinking like 5 golden rings could be 5 income claims, you know? There's so many things we could do. So, yeah, let me know in the comments. Let's do our 3 vital behaviors. So for my personal development, I just finished, within the space of a few hours, book 7 of the Cowboy Colony Mail Order Brides by Ursa Dax. It is alien cowboys who like absolutely are so down bad for their women. It is wonderful. They're so easily digestible and funny, like very silly and sweet and a little bit smutty, and will have you like giggling and kicking your feet. So if you are like, I have like 7 books left for my reading goals in 2025, like, and if that sounds like it's up your alley, you could devour those in the week, you know, the dead week from like Christmas Eve to New Year's, you know, where like we all just become one with our couches. They're so easy, so quick to read. So I just finished those, and then I am waiting for my Brimstone hold from the library. 'Cause I'm not a person that like has to read the book the day it comes out. Like, I'm a big fan of the public library. I use my library. So like as soon as there's a new release, like, or even before, I'll put in the hold as soon as Chicago Public Library will let me, and I'll put in the hold on both the ebook and the physical book, and whichever one comes in first wins, and then I'll read it then. So whenever my Brimstone hold comes in, I'll read it. So I don't really care about reading. I read Onyx Storm like 2 weeks after everybody else, and it was fine. I was fine. So waiting on that. In the meantime, I'm going to read The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen, which is book 2 of the games gods play. It's the next one. So that's my personal development. My product of the product. I mean, I already showed you guys about like Cosmic Beauty, one of my favorite indie brands. I did some indie Black Friday shopping. So, this one in the bad footage, I showed off my mug from Enjoy, which is a local store here in Chicago. So if you are in Chicago, I showed off my mug. It's cats, and within each cat is like a quote from an author about cats. It's so great. My favorite one is, if a man could be crossed with the cat, it would improve man, but it would deteriorate the cat. And that's Mark Twain. So also there's another one by Mark Twain. When a man loves cats, I'm his friend and comrade without further introduction. Same, Mark Twain. So I got that at Enjoy, an urban general store here in Chicago. So that's kind of my products as I'm trying to participate in the boycotts against like Amazon and Target and everything. But I'm also a girl who gets the shoppies. So I did some small business shopping for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And lastly, I mean, there's a lot of things to invite and be invited to this time of year. So I am going to a friend's concert on Friday this weekend. I am going to see her group, which is kind of like an Andrews Sisters style close harmony group, which love that style of music, especially at Christmas time. And some of my fellow singer friends are all going to see that together. And then my bestie and I are going to see our favorite group, Over the Rhine, and also this weekend. So look at me, social butterfly, leaving my house even though it gets dark at 4:30. So yeah, it'll be really fun, and obviously have some Christmas parties and gigs coming up. So lots of socializing with people who are actually friends and aren't trying to recruit me. I'm not trying to recruit them, and their friendship is not contingent on how well I'm doing in a pyramid scheme. So mind-blowing. So let me know what you guys are doing for your vital behaviors. Give your pets a kiss on their little heads for me, and I will see you in part 2 in just a couple days. All right, bye.
What does perfect even mean?